Okay, so today we're going to talk about a new topic, which is about the title of the topic is this. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen with you guys, and here we go. Okay, okay, so this is the new topic that we're going to have for today. The title is probability. So basically, probability has a very strong connection with statistics. So we're not going to forget statistic because the probability and statistic is actually like a one big topic. Yeah. So, okay, so here we go. I'm going to start from the first slide. Here we go. So when we're talking about probability, for example, this is the real life application of probability. You might have seen this in your maybe like Google or maybe in the front of your, I mean, the homepage of your phone. Maybe there is a like a display in on how the weather will go for for today, for example. Yeah. And then for today in my place, it's 26 degrees Celsius and approximately probably from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. There will be no rain and slightly rain at about 3 p.m. Right. And then for this one here in the slide, we have the same thing, right? This is what we call a weather forecast. Yeah. Well, so this is one of the real application of probability. Okay. So the next slide is this guy here. Okay, so maybe all of you have seen this. Also, this is like a chips, and then yeah, it's like gambling. Yeah. So actually, when we're talking about like cards, and then we have this, I don't know, what do you call this? Is it roulette or something? And we have like dice, right? And then these chips. Well, actually, we're talking about probability. Yeah. So we're going to talk later on about this. This is actually it's a gambling, but I'm not going to teach you about gambling, but I'm gonna teach you the risk of uh if you do this. Yeah, there's a very big chance that you will lose, like 1 in a billion that you will lose. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's get to the next slide. Okay, so these are the prior knowledge that you need to have in learning about probability. So we have fraction, decimals, and percentage. So you might want to review these again because we're going to do a lot of calculation using fraction, decimal, and percentage. Most of the time, we're going to use fraction. Yeah. And please get your calculator ready because we are going to have a lot of calculation again using fraction. If you're not very well at like doing calculation using fraction, you can use your calculator to help you. Okay. So the next one is arithmetic operation. Of course, we're going to like add or subtract or divide, multiply, right? So we're going to do all of that because in mathematics, most of like 99% of the topic that we're going to talk, it's going to be, it needs an arithmetic operation skill, okay? So next one is algebra, of course. Like I said, from grade 7, that from junior high school until maybe your college, that you're going to use a lot of algebra because we will have a lot of unknown value. So algebra will do the trick for you guys to solve some questions. Okay, the next one is the Venn diagram. You have learned this in grade 7 semester 2. And for this one, we're going to use this also to calculate probability. Yeah. So this Venn diagram, we'll talk about that next session, which is on Tuesday, Wednesday. And I would like you to get yourself ready with the notes that you have from grade 7, if you have one. You should have one. Yeah, because I told you to, right? If you don't have it, ya udah tulis lagi aja yang baru ya. Okay, next one is okay, next one. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an opening problem here. It's related to, of course, probability. And here we go. Okay, a coin is tossed 5 times and heads result each time. So 5 times you toss it, and then every time you toss it, it results a head, right? On the next toss, is it more likely that the coin or the result will be tails or head? Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys your opinion on what do you think for this case? Okay, I'm gonna go to Rico first. Rico, what do you think?
What I think? Well, I think the person that chose head is very lucky. And I think the result will still be 50-50. It won't change. Because if it's heads, it's actually, if it's heads, it's most likely tails. Because heads keep showing up, which means there is little chance that heads will show up again unless the person is really lucky.
Okay, thank you, Rico. How about again? Do you agree with Rico or do you have different opinion?
I think in the case of flipping coins, I don't think it really matters like the past result. So I think the next result will still be 50-50, no matter what the person gets before.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so Rico and Egan have the same exact opinion actually in terms of what comes next. It said that it will get 50-50. Yes, actually, guys, when the coin is not biased, yeah, I'm gonna say not biased. Not biased means that some coins have different weights for like the head and the tail. Some coin, but most of the coin, like yeah, most of them will have like an equal weight for the, what do you call it, the head and the tail. So most likely for this case, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the previous result is. It still will be will still be 50-50, 50-50, right? So it doesn't mean that, oh, okay, head, and then okay, this must be head. No, it's still 50-50. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Rico and again. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Here we go. Okay, another problems. Here we go. What is the chance that a family of 3 children will consist of all boys or all girls? Okay, I'm gonna go to Ken.
What is the chance that a family of 3 children will consist of a boy and girl? Um, I don't know.
Okay, so
It can be like both, like the three members of the family can be the combination of boys and girls.
mm, okay, in terms of calculation, what do you think? I mean, like maybe like 20%, 30%. Can you calculate that? What do you think?
I
Okay, I'm
didn't
gonna.
know
Hmm?
how to count. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Adrian has an opinion here. Okay, Adrian, yes. Can you tell me where do you get that 44/50? Isn't it like 44 or 50? Where do you get that 44 or 50? Adrian. Yan kayaknya tidak bisa ini. I'm gonna go to Andin. Andin, what do you think? In terms of calculation, like 20%, 30%, 25% maybe. What do you think? For anyone else? Paldi mungkin? What do you think, Paldi?
30% chance maybe
30%? Okay, what do you get that 30%? Is it guessing or?
because
Uh-huh.
there are 3 children.
There are 3
Uh,
children, okay?
Okay, there are 3 children and yes, so 100 divided by 3,
Okay, it's 33. Is it?
33.3,
33%. Oh, 30.3.
3.
Okay.
3.
Okay, anyone
Yes.
has different opinion with Valdi? It's okay, guys. We're really learning here. It's fine. No problem with that. Okay, so okay, here we go, guys. When we're talking about probability, this is a simple probability. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, like we're not talking about like other variable, like for example, misalnya like ya pokoknya variable lain lah. We're just talking about the numbers, okay? So in here, guys, we have 3 children, right? It consists of all boys or all girls. There are a couple of probabilities. For example, all of them are boys, okay? So it's boys, boys, and boys, okay? Or maybe it can be boy, boy, girl, right? Or maybe it can be boy, girl, girl. Or it might be girl, girl, girl. Right? Do you agree with that? Okay, is there any other possibilities? Okay, cuma 4 ya. There are only 4 of these probably. It can be boy, 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 girl, boy, girl, girl, or girl, girl. It doesn't matter the order ya. I mean like anak pertama misalnya girl, it doesn't matter. Cuman ditanya like all of them are girls or not. Yeah. So in here we have like 4 probabilities, right? Of the gender in terms of gender. It means that because we want to have because what we want to know is consists of all boys or all girls. So we have this all of boys and or all of girls. So this one is like 2 out of 4, right? Because we have 2 of these, the one that we want to have, and out of 4 because we have 4 possible outcomes, right? So that will be 1/2. 1/2 is equals to 50%. So when we're talking about simple probability, simple probability, like we're learning today, we're just going to focus on the numbers. Yeah, we're not going to focus on the other calculation or other variables. Misalnya kayak kalau misalnya makannya banyak sayur nanti anaknya jadi cewek misalnya kayak gitu. Enggak. We're not talking about that. Yeah, so we're just talking about how it will have the numbers of the simple probability that we can think of. Yeah. Okay, so before I go, is there a question, guys? Maybe you have different opinion. Cukup bisa dipahami ya? Okay, let's go to the next slide. Ini kok banyak yang keluar, tiba-tiba tinggal 20 siswa. Baiklah, okay. I'm gonna get to the next one. Okay, so in describing probability, statement which involves probabilities, these are the examples of statement which involve probabilities. For example, we will probably buy a new TV soon. Okay, so you can see that this word here will probably is actually a probability, right? It's probable, probability is same thing. Okay, so another example here is I almost certain that I passed the exam. Okay, can Zaidan tell me what is the word that state that it is a probability? Zaidan. Dari ini yang I am almost certain that I passed the exam. Kata kuncinya mana yang menyatakan kalau dia itu probability?
Almost.
Almost. Oke. Okay. Ada pendapat lain, guys? Alvin, what do you think? Apakah almost aja atau ada kata lain? What do you think? Okay. Abin maybe? Kenapa gak kedengeran? Ya, Abin. Apakah cuman kata almost doang atau ada kata lain yang menyatakan kalau itu adalah probability? Ada nggak? Iya, betul sekali. Certain ya? Yes. Yeah, actually it's almost certain ya. It's not just almost. Almost tuh hampir ya, tapi okay, Abin, thank you ya. So when we're talking about certain, almost certain, it's almost 100%, right? Almost 100%. So it is a probability, right? It is a probability. Okay, let's go to the next example. Here we go. It is unlikely that our team will win today. Okay, so this word here, unlikely, ya kan? Kayaknya hampir nggak mungkin deh, gitu kan? Kayaknya kesempatan kita menang untuk kecil gitu ya. So it is unlikely that our team will win today. So just remember, guys, there are a couple of keywords. Every time you answer questions, find the keywords. Yeah, the keyword first. So it's to determine in which case is this and which method that you will use to answer the questions. Okay. Ini banyak sekali yang keluar. Okay, next. Okay, it is likely that the storm will damage the crops. Again, this guy over here, right? Likely. Yeah, likely means like it's a very big chance, right? There is a big chance, but it doesn't mean that's certain, but the chances are very big. Yeah. So these are the examples of statements in which it involve probability. So this is like just a statement. We're not talking about the calculation yet. Okay. So whenever you see these keywords, okay, so most likely, I'm going to say most likely again, most likely is a probability. Most likely that this is talking about probability. Okay. Okay. Let's go to the next slide. Here we go. Okay. So describe probability that I said before, guys, the keywords, these are the keywords. Okay. Probably, unlikely, almost certain, likely. So these are the examples of the word that you're going the keywords that you will see in the cases of probability. Yeah. Okay. So it's actually the same thing like the previous example. Okay. So again, guys, another keywords that you can use. Previously we have 4. We have another one like impossible, maybe, no chance, little chance, doubtful, often, and then rarely, and then last one is 50-50 chance. So again, when we're talking about probability, so it means that we're gonna like, okay, this is like gonna happen. It's gonna happen or not, for example, like that. So it's what will happen. Yeah, it's what will happen. Is it like certain or impossible, right? And then maybe, no chance is like 0 chance. Impossible is same thing, 0 chance. And then like little chance, doubtful. Doubtful means I doubt it. It means like it's a little chance. Often means that it's going to be big. Rarely it's going to be small. 50-50 chance, like most likely. Man, that's most likely. Like 50-50 chance, right? So you have already know about this like 50-50 chance, of course, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right? That have 50-50 chance. So yeah, these are the other keywords that we will see in cases of probability. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Here we go. Okay, so what is actually a probability? So probability is a measure of how likely an event is to occur. Okay, so again, how likely? Is it like impossible, or is it going to be certain, or so it's about 50-50, or unlikely, or most likely, and so on, so on, so on, right? So it is something that will happen, okay? Something that will, so we are measuring, right? Measuring on how likely that event will occur, okay? Okay, so for example, guys, like this, today there is a 60% chance of rain. Okay, so if there is an information like this, you will most likely, it's not most likely, I mean, like, it is better for us to, maybe if you're going with a motorcycle like me, I'm gonna prepare my raincoat because there is 60% chance of rain, but like the chance of like only if it's like only 5%, I might not going to bring that, maybe, yeah, because yeah, most likely it's not going to rain, so I'm not going to bring my raincoat, for example. Yeah, so these information is from data, actually. Yeah, so where is actually the weather forecast come from? It's not just guessing, it's from data. Yeah, so when we go back to data, we're going back to statistic again. We're talking about statistic, so statistic will have a big role in talking about probabilities. So yeah, so yeah, again, this is the example. Today there is a 60% chance of rain, and then the odds of winning the lottery are 1,000,000 to 1. So I have shown you before. There's like a roulette machine. It's not roulette, I don't know what the name is, and like a dice, some dice, and then there are chips, right, and so on, and all of them, like, it's related to gambling. So lottery, actually, it's also a gambling. So the odds of winning in the lottery are 1,000,000 to 1. Kalian pernah lihat ada ini nggak, togel? Pernah dengar togel nggak, guys? Pernah dengar togel nggak? Pernah togel ya? Togel is like lottery, yeah. So you bet on a number, yeah, you bet a number, and then you pay for some money, right? And then there will be like apa sih namanya, kayak undian gitu, like ntar yang keluar siapa yang nomor berapa yang keluar, kamu nanti dapat. Kalau misalnya kamu nomornya pas, berarti kamu akan menang gitu ya. In a couple of countries, such as yeah, Western countries gitu ya, like America maybe, And also in a couple of countries such as not I think in every country we have that a lottery. But there is a legal and illegal. I don't know in Indonesia whether the lottery is legal or not, but in terms of religion, maybe, yeah, and my belief religion, this is actually is not forbidden. It's not apa, nggak boleh ya. You cannot do it because most likely you will lose. Most likely you will lose. You're just wasting your money for that. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I believe that this is like a sin if you do it, but we're not talking about that. Yeah. We're just talking about the probability. So that's why it is forbidden. Yeah. In religion, like what I know is all of our religion forbid you to do something like this. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, enough about that. We're just talking about the probability. Yeah? Okay, and then you can think of other examples. Yeah, for example, what is the probability that we will have the offline learning next week? For example, yeah, like maybe okay now maybe it's 80%, but something happened on Saturday, yeah, and then just the COVID just rise up like it's very, I mean, like the cases are increasing rapidly, for example, then we will cancel that. So every time we have like a probability that is not 100%, we cannot say that it will happen. I mean, like it might happen. Okay, it's 99% happen, but there is 1% of chance that it will not happen, and it can happen. Yeah, and it can happen. Yeah, for example, this pandemic, no one in this role will, I mean, like ready with this condition, right? When we have this in 2019, right? I mean, like we don't know that it will be like this, right? Yeah, something like that. And then another what they call it, another example of probability and statistic is that we can see that actually there's a simulation. If people, for example, if you know a couple of people, siapa sih yang terkenal kayak Tesla, yang bangun Tesla siapa sih? Ya pokoknya ada orang-orang ya kayak Bill Gates gitu yang ngomong like the end of this pandemic will be in 2022 or 2023. Actually, they're talking with statistic and probability. Okay, you can't trust them 100% because it might be different from what they predict, but there is some calculation on where it's going to end. Yeah, but we don't know for sure because it's not 100%. Yeah. Okay, so let's get to the next one. Okay, so probabilities will be written as fraction from 0 to 1. It can be like 0 is an impossible event. 1 is the same thing as 100%, right? 1. So you will not see a probability that is negative or more than 1. For example, what is the probability? It's minus. It's minus probability. No, there will be no minus probability or a probability that more than 100%, because we know that 1 is 100%. Then we can just say that the numbers, I mean, like the value of probabilities will be fraction or decimal. It can be decimal actually, is from 0 to 1. Yeah, it can be like 1/2, 1/4, maybe 5/8, for example, or 0.99995, for example, right? So as long as it's not more than 1 and less than 0, so we can say that that is the value of probability. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, again, we can have fraction, we can have decimals, we can have percentage. Yeah, we get fraction from 0 to 1, decimal is the same thing, 0 to 1, and percentage is from 0% to 100%. Don't forget the percentage sign. Yeah, if you say this percentage. Yeah, so yeah, we have fraction, decimals, percentage, and most of the time I will need you to write down in fraction. Yeah, most of the time, but there might be some question that needs you to convert that into decimal, but don't worry because you have your calculator, a lifesaver for math. Yeah, your lifesaver of math for math is calculator. Okay, next up we have, yeah, okay, so if an event is certain to happen, then the probability of the event is 1. 1 is the same thing as 100%. Yeah, so it is a certain thing that will happen. Yeah, certain thing that will happen. Yeah, for example. Yeah, for example. Apa ya? For example, people will, I'm sorry, I'm not going to say this. Ya udahlah, next aja. Okay, if an event will never happen, then the probability of the event is 0. It is impossible, for example. Yeah, it is it is an event that will never happen is 0%. Yeah. For example, apa ya? If you have like a die, well, where did I put my die? No, sure. Like, if you have a die, like 6-sided die, and then the numbers on the die is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you roll it, and then you throw it, and then you expect number 7 will come, right? But there's no number 7 in the die, on the die, yeah. So that will be 0%. That will be I mean, like, it won't happen. It won't happen because the die, on the die, there are only numbers from 1 to 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But you expect 7 to come, but it will not happen, right? It's never happened. Yeah. Okay. Next up. Okay, so if an event is just as likely to happen as to not happen, then the probability of the event is 1/2, 0.5 or 50%. Okay, so I need to remind you again, guys, we're using dot, yeah, as a decimal separator, not comma. Because yeah, first of all, we are using international system. The next, because sometimes if you use comma, it's kind of hard for you to separate which one is which. For example, like coordinates geometry, right? X and Y, first remember that, right? If you want to separate some numbers, you need to use this, you use comma, right? But for example, if I have this, for example, this is like 1.2 and this is like 2.4, for example. If you want to state the coordinates in here, you will use 1.2 comma 2.4. If you're using comma like this, right, there will be a lot of comma here and we don't know which one is which, right? That's why please use a point, yeah, as the separator of decimal. Yeah, use point. Do not use a comma unless maybe your next teacher in grade 9, grade 10 tell you so. Yeah, but for this time, please use dots again because we're using international system. Okay, so again, if an event, ya, silakan ya mau ke toilet. Tolong ya guys, ini gimana tuh? Okay, so if an event is just likely to happen or not to happen, the probability is 50. The same thing, the first case that we have seen, yeah, tadi ada request again, is say the 50%. What is that 50%? Because we know that in what do you call a coin, right, has only two sides, the head and the tail, right? So it's going to be the head and the tail will be 50-50. Although maybe if it can be like the coin is neither is gonna show head or tail, but that is in different case in which maybe you're throwing that to the ground and where you have dirt and then maybe it's like dia nancep gitu ya. Tapi we're not talking about that. So in general, we are talking that if you toss a coin, the probability of getting head is 50%, and the probability of getting a tail is also going to be 50%. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one. Next slide. Okay, so I would like you to draw this, please. This is a very important chart for you guys. That we have again from 0 to 1 or from 0% to 100%. So these are the keywords, again, the keywords that you really need to remember. Okay, so what is impossible? Impossible is 0%. Certain is 1. Equal chances is 50%. So if it is like between these two, between means that it's not 0 and it's not 50. Yeah, it's more than 0 but it's less than 50%. Then we can say that it is unlikely. Yeah, it can be like 49%, 49.5. Is it 49.9 is also not equal chance, but it's unlikely because it's less than 50%, right? Or like 1%, 2%, 10%. That is what we call unlikely. Yeah, this goes to unlikely. Yeah. And then if it's more than 50% but less than 100%, then we call it likely. Yeah, likely. Likely is between. Yeah, between. Between 0 to 50%. Yeah, for this one is between 50% to 100%. So again, guys, if I say between, that number doesn't include. Yeah, so between 0 to 50 means that 0 and 50 doesn't include. Same thing with between 50 and 100, 50% and 100%. So 50 and 100 is not included because 50% is equal chance. Yeah. So these again, guys, these words that you're going to meet a lot in a word problems, because I will give you a lot of word problems. Yeah, for you to analyze. You need to practice on the analyzing skill. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay. So example here, like when a meteorologist state that the chance of rain is 50%, the meteorologist is saying that it is equally likely to rain or not to rain. Ya, when meteorologist misalnya ya, kemungkinannya 50-50 ya, berarti ya sama nih kemungkinan hujan apa enggak itu. Kalau saya sih misalnya disuruh bawa, maksudnya mau nyiapin pergi keluar gitu, mendingan saya bawa jas hujan daripada enggak. Takutnya hujan. Ya. Okay, if the chance of rain rises to 80%, it is more likely to rain. Yeah. If the chance drops to 20%, that it may rain, but it probably will not rain. So whenever you see that there is a number here, as long as it's not zero, as long as it's not 0%, then there will be a chance of that will happen. But the difference is just like, is it like more likely to happen or not likely to happen? Yeah, or is it equal? Yeah, as long as it's not 0%. If it's at the chance of drops of rain is 20%, that it might rain. It might be raining, but it will probably will not. I mean, like it's most likely will not rain. It will it is probably probably it will not rain because it's only 20%. Yeah, but it still can happen. Yeah. So when I say there's a chance, a big probability that we will get the offline class next week, gitu ya. Terus tiba-tiba nggak jadi gitu. Ya itu dia probability ya. Because there, as long as it's not 0%, anything can happen. Yeah. Okay. So next one. Okay, you need to think about things that events that will never happen and some event that will be certain happen. Yeah, so like 0% and 100%. Yeah, there's a lot of things in here because we tend to predict anything, right? Anything we can predict. Yeah, well, for example, if you're like soccer, for example, football football misalnya, like what is the probability of this team will win in this game, for example? Yeah, the chances will be different for every time when the what they call it, when the match is going, right? The chances are like keep going on. I mean, like it can be rising, it can be drop, and so on, so on, so on. For example, team A and team B, and then team A makes a goal first. The chances of the team A will win will rise. But for example, on the second half, team B will have goal, and then the chances of getting tie is going to be rising, right? So for example, like that. But again, it will change along the time. Yeah. And yeah, you can think of the event that will never happen or the event that will certainly change. Okay. And then some event that have equal chances, for example, like 50%. Okay, so here we go. So this is how you write it down. Okay, so now we're going to go to the formula. Yeah, please write this down. This is going to be the formula that we're going to use to calculate probability. So you will say like this: if P stands for probability, and then inside the bracket is the event. For example, you want to get a number 5 on a die, right? So that will be P, and then inside the bracket you will get, for example, die equals 5, for example. And that will be equals to the number of ways event can occur, and then over the total number of outcome. For example, like I've shown you before with the 3 boys and the 3 girls, right? So first you want to list what are the possibilities, all the possibilities, yeah, all the possibilities that will occur on that event. Sorry. Yeah, and then you just pick the event that you want to calculate, and then over, right, or divide that by the total number of outcomes. Okay, I'm gonna give you the example. Here you go. Okay, sorry, before that, an outcome is a possible result of a probability experiment. And for example, like this, when rolling a number cube, like this one, like a die, yeah, the possible outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There will be no 7. For example, like I said before, guys, if you roll the die and then you expect to get 7, you won't get any 7 because there's no 7 on the die. Yeah, there's no 7 on the die, except you write yourself 7 on the die. Yeah, so yeah, this is yeah, again, an outcome is a possible result of a probability experiment. Yeah, so if you're talking about a die, yeah, a die, so the possible outcomes will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there are 6 total number of outcomes in rolling a die. Okay. Next up, an event. Yeah, an event is a specific result of a probability experiment. For example, when rolling a number cube, the event of rolling an even number is 3. Right? Even number is 3. Why we call why is it 3? Because we have 3 of even number in a die, right? So yes, so an event is specific result of probability experiment. So this depends on the question. This depends on what we want to calculate. Yeah. So whenever you see an event, oh, it means that this event, I want to specifically want this event to happen. I mean, like, what is the probability that this event will happen? Then this event will have something like this. Yeah. Okay. To make it clearer, guys, I'm gonna show you the calculation. Yeah. Okay, so what is the probability of getting heads when flipping a coin? Of course, you know this, right? You have learned this like from your in elementary, of course. And you will say, oh, it's 50%. So the question goes back. Why is it 50%? Right? So, or 50% can be written as 1/2, yeah, in fraction. Okay. So P, and then because we know that the event is getting a head, right? So you write down head inside the bracket, right? So P, again, P stands for probability. And then inside the bracket, you write down head. And then the number of ways of you get that head, right? In a coin, you only have one head, right? You only have one head. You don't have 2 heads because it's 1 head and 1 tail, right? And then the total numbers of outcomes, which is 2 because we have 2 sides, right? So this is the number of head. This guy is actually is the number of head in a coin, on a coin. Okay, yeah, right? And this guy here actually is the total side, right? The total side of a coin, right? We have 2 side of coin, and we have only 1 of head. So it's 1/2. 1/2 can be written as 50% in decimal, right? So again, I'm going to remind you again and again, guys. So whenever we talk about science, we're talking about mathematics, we're going to do a lot of with logic. Yeah, use your logical thinking, because yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Okay. Let me go to the next example. Okay, again, P heads, or probability of getting a head, is equals to 1/2 or 0.5 or 50%. It's the same thing. You can write down like, yeah, literally one of these. Yeah, just one is okay. You don't need to write down 3 of them. Just write down one. Except that you're instructed to write this down in a different form. You need to write down it in a different form. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next slide again. I would like you to try these. Okay, so I have a circle here, a spinner. Yeah, you can spin this, and I have letter A, B, C, and D. Okay, so then I'm gonna spin it. Right, just spin it. It can be like, yeah, spin randomly spin it. What do you think is the probability that the spinner will stop on part A? Okay, I'm gonna go to Attar.
Okay, so I think the probability is 1/4,
Yeah, 1/4. Okay, why do you say it's 1/4?
because the outcome is 4, the 4 sides. Bukan side sih, apa namanya? Ya, ada A, B, C, D, jadi 4. And then yang apa namanya yang kita mencarikan A jadi 1. So 1/4. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Atta. Okay, again, guys, whenever we want to do this, you need to write it down in the way that we did before. Okay, so it's going to be P, and because we want to have the event, I mean, like, we want to calculate the probability of getting A, so PA, right? P stands for probability, A, because in here we have this A, right? And that will be equals to, how many A do we have in this spinner? We only have one, so one on the top. And then what is the total side? Because this is like evenly, what do you call it? Evenly divide, right? Evenly, it needs to be even. Evenly divided by 4, the A, B, C, D. So that will be 1/4. Simple as that, yeah? Or we can write down this as the 0.25 or equals to 25%, and it's the same thing, okay? Okay, how about this one? What is the probability that the spinner will stop on an even number? I'm going to alpha. Kira-kira ini kalau berapa probability-nya kalau dia berhenti di angka genap? Gimana alpha? Dua, oke. Duanya ada berapa?
Ada satu.
Ada 1. Berarti probability-nya jadi 1/2.
1/2.
1/2. Emang ada 2 di sini ya angkanya?
1/1 gitu.
1/3.
3.
Benar ya? Oke, gitu ya. So, again guys, we need to write this down in the notation because we want to know the probability of even number. I'm going to write down here, guys. So, it's a P in a bracket even, right? Because we want to find even. And we know that even number is 2. In here, from these 3 numbers, we have 1, 2, 3, right? And because we want to know the even number for this is only 2, right? Which is only 1, yeah. Maksudnya the value is 2, but there's only 1 of that. So that will be 1 over, and we have 3 of the side, so we have 1/3. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Alva. Next. Okay. Okay, the same thing. Kemal, silakan Kemal. Yang out belum ya tadi ya? Kemal, out dulu. Kemal, silakan.
Yang out dulu atau yang 3?
Yang out dulu, yang out. Ya, out.
Iya, 2/3.
2/3 ya? Gampang ya? Gampang banget. Pak, ini pelajaran ST, Pak. Gitu. Iyalah. Oke, yang nomor 3 nggak usah ya. Because we only have A, right? And then from 3, so it's just 1/3. Okay. Okay, here we go. Word problems. Okay, so in word problems, guys, there will be more challenging things that you will encounter because, again, you need to pay close attention to the sentence and then to analyze which one is which and then find the keywords and so on. Yeah. Okay, so this is the example for word problem. Okay, Lawrence is the captain of his track team. The team is deciding on a color and all 8 members vote their choice down on equal size card. If Lawrence picks one card or at random, what is the probability that he will pick blue? Okay. Okay, I'm going to Tristan. Tristan, what do you think? Jadi berapa kemungkinannya kalau dia akan mengambil warna biru? Tristan, nggak kedengaran saya? Halo? Biasanya ada kerket.
Halo, halo
Oh
Pak.
ya, tadi oke kedengaran.
Oke, maaf.
Yes.
Apa pegang ini? Oke, apa? Apa? Jadi apa nih?
Ya, berapa kemungkinannya kalau dia dapetin warna biru?
What?
Nah, ini kan ada banyak nih, ya kan?
What do you mean blue?
Ini kan ada banyak nih, ya kan?
Ya. Oke.
Ini ada kartu-kartu, ada yang tulisannya blue, yellow, red, green, blue, black. Terus diambil nih random salah satu misalnya. Nah, berapa kemungkinannya bahwa dia akan dapetin blue?
Oke. Keyakinan dia akan ambil blue berarti It is 3
Mhm.
out of ada 9. 3 out of 9
9.
chances.
Almost. Hampir. Bukan 9.
Wait, no. Itu 8.
8, yeah.
Okay, 3 out of 8.
Yeah, 3 out of 8. Okay, thank you, Tristan. Yeah. Okay, guys. So we have 3 of cards that written blue. Ya, ada tulisannya blue itu ada 3 ya. Karena kita pengen tahu kemungkinan the probability of getting blue. So highlight that 3 of blues, right? And then because we know that the number of blues are 3 is 3, and then we know that all of the cards are 8 because actually we have another keyword. So like all 8 members, right? So all of them will get, the total is 8, right? And then we only need to find out, oh, how many blue do we have in this card? And this card we have 3 blues. So we have 3 over 8. As simple as that, right? So the probability that will be, I'm going to write down, guys, so P of blue, right? It's not blue, it's red. Yeah, it's okay. And that will be 3 over 8. 3 over 8, you can again use the calculator. That will be 0.375 or equals to 37.5%. Yeah. Okay. Okay, next. Okay. Okay, Donald is rolling a number lab cube labeled 1 to 6. What is the probability of the following? Okay, an odd number. Oke, yang belum siapa ya? Ini udah Alpha. Andin, I'm going back to Andin. Andin, we have a die, a cube, a die. And what is the probability of getting an odd number if you roll it? Ya, ini Andin. Andin suka nge-freeze ya. Yaudah saya ke Dipo dulu deh, Dipo. What do you think, Dipo? Halo, Dipo. Dipo nih saya punya dadu nih, ya kan, dilempar. Oh ya. Dia punya dadu dilempar sekali. Kemungkinan dia akan keluarnya angka ganjil.
3 over 6.
Yes. Okay, very good, Dipo. Can you simplify that?
Bisa, Pak.
Jadi berapa?
Jadi 1/2, Pak.
1/2. Okay, nice, Dipo. Yes. Okay. Yes, very good. Yeah. We have 3 over 6. Where do we get that 3? Because when we list this, what do you call, when we list it, because we know that odd numbers, there are 3 odd numbers, which are 1, 3, and 5, right? And we know that the total numbers are, there are 6 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So which means that the probability will be 3 over 6 or 1 over 2 or equals to 0.5 or 50%. Okay, quite easy, right? Okay, next. A number greater than 5. Okay, I'm going to go to ZO. ZO, what do you think?
The probability is 1 over 6.
1 over 6. Okay, very good. Because we know that the number that is greater than 5 is only 6, right? In this cube, right? So that will be 1 over 6. Okay. Number greater than 5 is only 6, right? We only have 1, right, of that, which is 6. And we know the total numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That will be 1 over 6 or 0.166 or 16.6%. Okay, thank you. Okay, so it's quite easy, I guess. Gampang kan? Ini nggak usah lah. Lagi ya. Okay, here we go. One more ya, one more example. Okay, ini sebenarnya udah ada tulisannya ya, jangan di sini deh. I'm gonna go to my. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're talking about singular events. Ya, jadi cuman ada satu kejadian doang, gitu ya. Okay. If a normal 6-sided die is rolled, okay guys, ini die tahu ya, die itu bukan mati ya guys, walaupun ya tahu lah die itu mati, gitu. Tapi in this case guys, die is a singular form of dice ya. Kalau dadu itu cuma satu, namanya die ya, bukan dice. Okay. So if a normal 6-sided die is rolled, what is the probability of getting a 6, a non-number, and a number that less than 1? Okay, so we're gonna do that. I'm gonna write down A here. So question A, that will be a 6, right? We know that in this die, we only have 1 of 6. So that will be, right? So I'm going to write down 6 here. That would be 1 over 6, right? Because again, the total number, the total outcomes that we, the total possible outcomes, there are 6 of them, right? And for B, we have done that before, an odd number, which is going to be, we have an odd, that will be 3 over 6 or 1 over 2. Because we have 3 odd numbers, which are 1, 3, and 5. And again, the total of outcomes will equal to 6, okay? Next one, a number less than 1. Okay, ini Andin masih nge-freeze nggak? Andin, hello. Andin, hello. Andin, can you hear me? Can you hear me talking to myself? Diwa, gimana Dio? Diwa, gimana Dio? Berapa kemungkinannya bahwa ini akan muncul angka kurang dari 1?
Kurang tahu, Pak.
Kurang tahu, oke. Dalam dadu ini, angka yang kurang dari 1 ada nggak? Diwa, masih Diwa?
Ada.
Ada berapa?
0.
0, emang ada angka 0 di sini, di dadu ini? Jadi, ini kan ini 2, ini 6 gitu ya, ini 4 gitu kan. Ada nggak sih? Ada nggak angka yang kurang dari 0 di dadu ini? Ada nggak?
Ada, Pak.
Nggak ada. Berarti berapa per berapa dong? Kalau nggak ada berarti angkanya berapa kalau nggak ada?
Kalau nggak ada ya. No.
0 ya? Ya enggak? 0 ya. Berarti 0 per 6 ya, tetap 0 per 6 ya, karena kita outcome-nya 6. 0 bagi 6 berapa, Diwa?
0.
Ya 0 gitu ya. Valid tadi gak sih? Oke, gitu ya. Jadi again guys, when we're talking about this, so make sure that you know the item, what that we're talking, the object that we're talking. In here we're talking about a die in which it has 6-sided, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the die as a number. So for example, there are no number, there is no 0, there are no 7. There are no 8. No, they're on the die. Yeah, on the die. The numbers on the die only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Unless you write it down yourself. Yeah, then will, yeah. The normal die is like this. So that will be equals to 0. Okay. Next example. Here you go. Okay, this is the last example for today. Okay, so a container holds color marble: 10 green, 8 blue, 12 red. If a marble is drawn at random, diambil nih 1. What is the probability that it is a green? Okay. Andin masih ini ya. Udah saya tanya semua nih. Oh, biru belum. Biru. What do you think, biru? What is the probability of getting a green? Biru, silakan. Green. Ya, biru, silakan biru. Berapa per berapa? Ini angkanya di sini semua nih. Halo biru. Silakan biru. Di unmute. Halo. Biru nggak bisa unmute ya. Udah saya ke Luna deh. Luna saya belum lihat nih Luna nih. Luna, halo.
Hi.
Hi, Luna. Luna, can you help me with this?
Yeah, the probability is 1 over 3.
Well, what do you get that 1 over 3?
Because if you added 10 plus 8 plus 12, it becomes 30. And it's, if you like look at the green, it's only 10 over 30.
Okay.
And simplified, it's 1 over 3.
Okay, very good. Okay, so as you can see, guys, the number on the bottom here is the total, right? The total of possible outcomes, and we know that in this case here, in this container, we have 10 green, 8 blue, and 12 red. So we need to add all of them. So if I want to write this down as a complete process, I need to write it down like this, because we have 10 green, and then we have 10 green, and then we have 8 blue, and then we have 12 red, right? And that will be equals to, right, 10 over 30, and which we can simplify that as 1 over 3. Okay, so again, be very careful when you are reading the question, because sometimes there are some information that you need to process first before you go into the formula. Yep. Okay, next up, green or blue. Okay, I'm going back to Rico now. Rico, can you help me with B, and green or blue?
Sure.
Okay.
So green or blue
Equals.
So the number of green and blue, I think, is 10 and 8. So you 10 plus 8, maybe.
Yep.
All right. So, and then you divide it by how many there is, and there's 30.
Okay.
So 18 over 30.
Okay, simplify this fraction. What do you get?
If you simplify it, you get
I think we can divide both of them by 6, right?
Oh. So it's 3 over 5. Yes, I know that.
Valdi, enak banget kamu lagi makan. Oh my god. Valdi, kamu udah telat terus makan lagi pas pelajaran.
Aku tadi bangun jam 8, Pak. Aku belum
Ya
makan.
Allah, astagfirullahaladzim. Pantesan tadi masuknya jam berapa tadi tuh. Ya sudahlah, oke. Udah, ngemilnya stop dulu sebentar ya. Satu lagi terakhir, oke? Nah, sekarang berarti ke Valdi. Oke, Valdi, help me with C. Neither red nor green. Neither.
Neither red nor green. Jadi itu artinya blue. So we need to find the probability of getting blue.
Okay.
So because the total of outcomes is 30 from 10 plus 8 plus 12. That's 30. So 8 divided by 30 equals, yeah, we simplify that. It will be 4 over 15.
Okay, thank you, Valdi. Yep, okay, yes, that is correct, yeah. So when you say that neither red or nor green, means that, oh, it's not red or green. What is it? What is not green or red in this case, which is this one is blue, right? It happens only that one, right? Which means that will be 8 over 30, which is 4 over 15, yeah. Okay. Okay, guys, I think that's all for today. Probability, and this is it's just the opening of probability, because you have learned actually this in elementary. We're going to go more further in not just a singular event. We have like maybe 2 or 3 events at the same time, yeah, because the calculation is a little bit different, but the basic concept is still the same, yeah. So again, next week on Wednesday, we're going to talk about multiple event. Yeah, we have talked about singular events. We're going to talk about multiple event. What if we have, like, for example, I want to take not one marbles, but I take 2 marbles, and I want to know what is the probability of me getting both of them are blue, or like one is blue, one is red, right? Taking that 2 marbles at the same time, what is the probability of getting 1 blue and 1 red, for example? Yeah, we're going to talk about that later on next session. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. Okay, guys, is there a question before I end the class? You go. Okay, so thank you very much for today. And again, guys, I'm not going to give you any tasks for today, because you still focus on the PFF. And please, for those of you who have not submit the previous task, because I gave you like 3 tasks for the past 1.5 months, please submit it. Yeah, Andin, kenapa? Oh, Andin. Oh ya, oke. Ya, oke ya. Karena saya lihat masih ada beberapa dari kalian yang sepertinya belum ngumpulin tugas ya. Tolong dilihat lagi. Jangan lupa diklik submit ya. Jangan sampai cuma attach doang tapi nggak di-submit. Okay, I think that's it for today. Thank you very much. I'll be seeing you again tomorrow morning ya. Arigato gozaimasu. Bye-bye. Thank you guys.
Oke, makasih.
Thank you,
bye-bye.
Pak.
Sama.
Makasih,
Thank
Pak.
you. Welcome guys. Recording.